What is up with my hair?
Unknown transforming robot. It's probably shit, but if I just bet a quid, it really won't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, right here, back for another Transformer transformation review thingy. You find me this evening in a rather subdued mood-ish, because I've just looked at my subscription inbox and I've noticed that Bisto has reviewed Universe Longhorn, and that's a bot that I really want very much. Bisto, in the grand spirit of Transformer Way, would you mind awfully just giving me that? Is that something you think you could... No? Okay. I'll have to content myself with AA then, but he's reviewed... This is Rambling Catastrophe. Someone said his name's Baxter, but I believe it's Bisto. It's always been Bisto. And he's got this Universe Longhorn, and I want that bot somewhere. So it's auto-assembly for me. Are you coming to auto-assembly? I have auto-assembly fever. 3 months to go, but I have auto-assembly fever, and I'm not the only one. I'm excited by that. Overkill. Do you know who I'd love to see there? Buster Brenton, and because he's a lovely guy, and he gave me a bot. I wish you'd come, Brent. Can you come? I'll buy you a pint and give you a cuddle. It would be lovely. We'd have a lovely time. I don't think you can make it, but anyway. A little bit of homework. Oh, no, what do I call it? Not homework. Housekeeping. A little bit of housekeeping before I get on to Overkill. This is a lovely bot. A little bit of housekeeping. I told you a couple of reviews ago that I was, doing some stuff behind the scenes. For those of you who don't know, and why should you? I work in music, and look at all this. What's this crack here? And I did mention the fact that I had written a song and that it was going to be released. I kind of just said it. I just slipped it in, so a lot of people just didn't notice that. So that was cool. So I wrote a song with a friend of mine, and it was taken up by a major production company, and it's going to be released as a single. I can now tell you that the person singing it is not me, because who knows me? It's a man called Adam Zindani, who's in a band called the Stereophonics, who you probably have heard of. I know I've certainly have heard of them. It is going to be released as a single. His name's Adam Zindani. I co-wrote it with a friend of mine. I'm chuffed to bits. Hopefully I am going to make a bit of money out of it. I don't know how much, but that's a vulgar subject. I won't talk about that. I'm releasing a single. Somebody famous is singing my song. That's a nice thing. So I got a little overkill. I got this overkill first of all. It was auto assembly a couple of years ago. Which one was it? 2 auto assemblies ago. I think it was 2 auto assemblies ago. I love my cassette. I love G1 cassettes. The one that I wanted more is I'm looking on my shelves now to see if I can spy where he is. He's over here somewhere. Did somebody steal my rat bat? Hold on. He's here somewhere. Oh Christ! There he is. There. Can you see him there? There he is. That's it. Yeah. So, I love my cassettes, especially the Decepticon cassettes. Actually, do I mean that? No, just the cassettes. Cassettes in general. My first auto assembly, I wanted a rat bat. I didn't get one. My second auto assembly, I did get a rat bat. Was it my third? Yeah. I also got Overkill. This is a lovely little bot. Now, the one I want to show you, the one I'm getting to ultimately, is this. It's a little comparison. You see the colors there? This is, of course, the Universe Classics, the Classics Grimlock. And he was repainted as this Overkill. And I love this. I love my Universe figures. I just got a Universe figure today. Rather, I want it on eBay. You say one thing's on eBay. I believe one buys things on eBay. There's no winning. It's not like it's not a free prize or anything, is it? So this is a lovely little thing. I paid a lot of money for this, and you will pay quite a bit of money for this because this guy's complete. He's got all these little frickin' I don't know what that means. Little bit of BG, not enough to do you any harm, ladies and gentlemen. I still want that in a t-shirt. Now, I'm reading from TF Wiki here, so this may well have been written by Chris McFeely, so I don't know if any of it is true. Chris, I'm going to see you in a couple of months. I am looking forward to seeing McFeely and Jeff. Jesus, it'll be good. As you might guess from the name, Overkill is all about excess. Sometimes this works to his advantage, such as when his endless tirades and theatrics distracts his foes. He's a theatrical darling. I know a few of those. Sometimes excess works to his disadvantage. Such as when he gets so caught up in showing off This bot likes showing off that he becomes distracted in combat. Really? Is that what he does? So he's in the throes of battle and he thought, I know, I'll deliver this soliloquy from Hamlet. Fuck off. And sometimes it just makes him look silly. I should think it makes him look silly. Swinging and blasting and a falling for long after the minute. Though he talks a better game than he fights, Overkill's dinosaur mode is strong enough to be a decent threat, except when the circuits that control his size change from cassette to dinosaur malfunction, as they are wont to do. And he finds himself stuck as an audio tape sized dino. Oh, oh, God. I fucking love that shit. I love that. Where are you? There you go. Can you imagine when the field of battle and there's Sunwave and little Overkill comes out and he goes, I'm gonna kick them out of that ass, and he comes out and he's just this oh Christ, that's great. I mean, that only has to happen once and his spark is extinguished by someone stamping on him. It's as simple as that. That never happened. I don't believe it happened. Anyway, I love bios because they're wonderful and silly and ridiculous and true, of course. This is Overkill, and he's a cassette. Do we say any more than that? No. He's a cassette. Sorry, I'm in a giddy mood today. I've been up since 4 o'clock. But look, he's a cassette. I'll tell you what's so cool. What's so cool about this cassette? You can actually see the cassette tape on it. Oh, bless 1984 to 1993 or whenever it was when we used to buy cassettes. Oh God, cassettes. Anyway, sorry, just a little reverie there of the first single I ever bought. I'm not going to tell you what it was because it brings the bile to the back of my throat to think of what it was now. Oh God, was I really that young? Anyway, where am I? Oh yes, Overkill. So he is a cassette, and I love cassettes. Do I have all the Decepticon cassettes? No, because I want Slugfest. This guy and Slugfest came in the same package. I want Slugfest. I'll be looking out from this year. I have a little shopping list for Auto Assembly this year. I'm not going to tell you what it is until I know for certain. I don't mind sharing it with you because, it's nice to know. I like to know what other people want. And it is Auto Assembly season for me. I'm getting ready. I'm mentally preparing myself for it. So look at this. That's all you do. That's it. That's what you do. You just don't turn him around because he doesn't look like anything. Doesn't look like anything. Let's do this, and you just transform him thusly. He's an absolute joy and a pleasure, and I love the fact that you do this thing with his legs. His legs separate like that, like he's about to give birth to a little baby Dinobot. Little tail, he's a darling of it. He's an absolute honey of a thing. Look, and you take your wee finger. Everybody's got one of those. Well, most people have, not everybody. And you give that a wee rub, and what happens is the Decepticon symbol just about comes up there. Then you take these odd little things and you stick them on his sides, and then he's ready to go out. And God help him if he should brag on so much that he forgets to change the size and he ends up like this. Poor little bastard. Now, look, so there's Overkill. This is essentially his bot mode. But this is the interesting thing, when we get into the Universe Classics 2.0, is that right? I don't know, I never get those things right. We've got 3.0 coming out now. 3.0, can we say that? Do you mind? Awfully. This is, of course, what Overkill looks like now. His alt mode is a cassette, and his bot mode is this Tyrannosaur. It's not a Tyrannosaur, they don't have this thing in their face. His alt mode is the Tyrannosaur, and he's got a bot mode. I like that. I like the way they twisted that around. Now, this guy is lovely. He's got all this great tail stuff going. He's got great head stuff going on. Even his funky little T-Rex arms are going to get a little bit of movement. And his legs, brothers and sisters, the legs are going to move sexily. The way I like to display this guy, I like to have him kind of like, like he's about to kill your granny, this kind of thing. I'm gonna get you, sucker. Really, really, really mean, in this kind of pose. Take this shit off because this is a weapon, of course. Just to prove to you, there's the Decepticon sigil there. Nice. Now, I haven't transformed this guy in a while, so I might actually forget how to do it. I don't think I will. But I don't have the Grimlock. It's interesting that I got the I got the Overkill before I got the Grimlock. I say before I got the Grimlock. I don't have the Grimlock, so that's probably why. I believe that comes off as some kind of big old tail weapon thing as well. Doesn't that come off? Yes, it does. Look, there's an awful lot of stuff coming off there. But in the spirit of Beast Wars, you know, in the grand spirit of Beast Wars, that's the kind of shit that goes on here. We're going to do this, and there's so much funky stuff going on here. I love this. This is something that really got me about this. Is there's that just you see it, you see the way that happens. You don't often get this. At his chest, he's going to turn them 180 degrees, and that's a nice thing. I'm not sure why I like that. I suppose it just kind of thwarts the natural convention of Transformers. Then I suppose the natural thing that we do with Transformers is, especially with Beast Bots, you stand it up and something becomes its arms, and its legs usually become its legs, but not in this guy's case. His legs become his arms, and his neck and head become his legs, which is cool. And it also gives us a nice range of movement when we get to the bot mode. So we're going to do this. This is a nice thing. Now he's going to give him some very, very decent shoulders. Now, where are his little fish? There are his little fish. And I tell you what happens is this Tyrannosaur leg tidies up so nicely and neatly to become this bot arm. Yeah, that's not bad at all. What do we do now? We're going to do this bad boy here. He has the same head as a Grimlock, but because the only other Overkill we've ever seen has been this little chap who's on the floor. 1 second. Then, of course, his bot head could be anything at all. And they thought, we won't bother resculpting his head because they don't like to do work. They don't like additional work when they do repaints. They really, really do not. I got this heavy tread today, and he's the universe repaint of Quick Mix, you know, the big Cybertron Voyager Quick Mix, and they didn't do anything to him at all except change the colours. That's going to fire, right? I'm just going to take it out straight away because I like this thing as a sword. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a sword, it's going to be a bayonet because he can't hold it in a kind of swordy position. But this shit he can hold as a sword. So, presumably, I mean, it's not very sharp, so it's some kind of tail whip lashy thing, you know, tail whip lashy thing. I'm sure there's one of those somewhere. That's a nice thing. You see, in the grand spirit of Beast Wars, stuff comes off and turns into other really decent stuff. I love this bot. He looks like he needs to pee there. Let's just give him a bit of dignity. I love this bot. I do want the Grimlock, but I'm glad I've got this one first because he just looks a little bit sexier. This is the Generation 1 Overkill. This one costs twice as much as this, so you wouldn't think it. I love my cassettes, and I love my universe. I love my dinosaurs. I just love Transformers. Good night.
Now that's what I call a robot in disguise.